Color is probably the most complicated area of user interface design. This is because we have a tendency to use colors that distract and feel completely unnatural. That can make our design look very messy. Do you want an example of this? Here you go. What do you say now? This is probably the worst website I have ever seen in my entire life. But this is obviously a joke, but you get the point, right? So let's try to avoid messy websites like this one with the guidelines I will show you in this lecture. The first thing I want to recommend is to use a single base color for your design. And with base color I mean any different color than black, white, or some shade of gray. If we want to build a clean and simple website, having too many colors in too many places all over a website is an easy way to completely screw up that goal. So sticking to one main color is definitely a good idea, especially if you're just starting out with design. And the colors you see here on this slide are from a tool called Flat UI Colors. Flat UI Colors is a very cool resource to choose your base color. To start out, I think you can't go wrong by choosing any of these colors. And besides fixing a base color, you can also create a darker or a lighter version of that color. Doing so, you can create a nice color palette like this one here. A color palette shows all the colors to be used in a certain design. I use a tool called 02-255 to create that darker and that light blue tones. I strongly recommend to create a color palette like this one for your design. As I said before, the gray tones are not considered base colors here, and we many times need some of them actually, for instance for text and for background colors. Find the link to these two tools I mentioned in the course ebook. Now, if you really want to mix up multiple colors, I recommend you to use a color wheel tool like Adobe Color CC or Peloton. These tools make use of color theory to choose the best color combinations for you. So for example, here with Adobe CC Color, you can create your color palettes using color combinations that actually make sense. Just play around with it and see what you get. You can then use a main color to draw attention to the most important elements on your web page, like a call to action button, and the second or third colors can complement the main color. That is just what this website is doing. Their main color is clearly green, but they have this nice orange to draw the attention to the button. And that brings us to the next guideline, which is about attention. When you're in doubt about using colors and don't know where to use colors and how often, I have a solution for you. Just pick a color that stands out and use it mostly to draw attention to a button or any other element of importance on your website. Uber's website here does a terrific job in doing exactly that. And number 4, and this is very simple, never choose the black color for any part of your design. This is because black actually almost never appears in the real world. So using complete black just doesn't feel natural. And last but not least, I want to say a few words on which colors you should actually choose for your design. That's because picking a color for a website means much more than picking your favorite color and turning it into a design. It means picking the right color in order to get the desired response from your audience. Color really makes a difference. This happens because there are psychological effects behind each color. So let's see what feelings each color can evoke and how to use this knowledge. Red is a great color to use when power, passion, strength, and excitement want to be transmitted. Brighter tones are more energetic, and darker shades are more powerful and elegant. Orange draws attention without being as overpowering as red. It means cheerfulness and creativity. Orange can be associated with friendliness, confidence, and courage. Now, yellow. Yellow is energetic and gives the feeling of happiness and liveliness. Also, it associates with curiosity, intelligence, brightness, etc. Green is the color of harmony, nature, life, and health. Also, it is often associated with money. In design, green can have a balancing and harmonizing effect. Next, blue means patience, peace, trustworthiness, and stability. It is one of the most beloved colors, especially by men. It is associated with professionalism, trust, and honor. And that's actually why the biggest social networks out there use the color blue. Now, purple is traditionally associated with power, nobility, and wealth. In your design, purple can give a sense of wisdom, royalty, nobility, luxury, and mystery. Pink expresses romance, passivity, care, peace, affection, etc. And finally, the color brown is the color of relaxation and confidence. Brown itself means earthiness, nature, durability, comfort, and reliability. And that's it for colors in this lecture. If you want to learn more on this subject, I included a couple of links in the course ebook where you can read all about color theory. Make sure you check them out.